All right, so now before y'all get into this amazing podcast, really quickly, for those of you that are watching here on YouTube, the podcast, The Common Podcast, is now available on Spotify. So if it's more convenient for you to check it out on Spotify, please do so. I'm checking the algorithms. There's more downloads every single day, which is great. So make sure y'all keep pushing the content, keep sharing, keep interacting. Second of all, I wanted to take this time to let y'all know that I am working on the production side. I do realize that the camera was off focus. I'm trying to figure that out right now, but I think I got it. So for the next upload, that will be fixed. And second of all, there is about like 2 minutes at the end of this podcast that is cut off, unfortunately, due to corrupt files. So I'm sorry for that, but you will get majority of the podcast. It is a great one. So much valuable information is shared for those that want to start a YouTube channel or any type of social media and you want to become successful at it. This is a great podcast for you. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. It's a great podcast. Enjoy. On the track. Welcome to the Common Podcast, where we speak upon common sense and realize it really isn't that common. Now, today I have a special guest with me, Mr. Ben Allen. Ben, go ahead and just introduce yourself. Let the people know a little bit of yourself and who you are, where you come from, and kind of like the experience that you have.
All right, for sure. What's up, guys? I'm Ben Allen Alvarado. I go by Ben Allen on social media. And pretty much what I do is I did 4 years active duty in the United States Army. I joined right out of high school, and I had my fun. I did my time. I got out, and then I did the civilian thing for about a month or two and decided, hey, I missed the military. Let me join the Army Reserves. I did that. I've been in for about a year and some change now. And I've just continued to grow my social media on my military YouTube channel, which is Ben Allen. We cover various topics about joining the military, basic training, and just how to prepare either physically or mentally for, the rigors that you're going to face when joining the military. And I also do TikTok. I have a military TikTok as well. And more on my passionate, nerdy side, I have a Pokemon YouTube channel and a Pokemon TikTok. I just have always liked playing the games. I like opening the cards. And I figured, hey, I like creating content. I love Pokemon. Let's make a Pokemon YouTube channel, see where it goes. And that's where I'm at, guys. I just love creating content. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Brownsville, Texas. And it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to this podcast.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it too. All the plugs to all of his channels, social medias is going to be somewhere in the description. I will be putting it on the screen. So make sure you go follow him. He has great content that I've been trying to catch up with because you have a lot of content, bro. Which it was a big surprise to me because I've known Ben since high school. We didn't really keep in touch or anything like that. More of acquaintances more than anything. But when he posted on Facebook that he has these YouTube channels, which, by the way, how many subscribers do you have on both channels right now?
So currently on the YouTube channel for my military content, we just hit 27,000. Yeah. For the TikTok military, we're at like 75,000. And then Pokemon YouTube channel, we just hit, I think we're at like 1.6 thousand.
Something like that.
And then on the TikTok, we have about 135,000 on the Pokemon one. People like watching me open up cards, apparently.
And then you also, your Instagram has a lot of followers as well.
Oh yeah, I have like 5.7 on Instagram. I don't really keep track of that one too much. It's just more for like my personal side and just kind of like throwback military pictures. But it's fun to see that one grow as well.
Yeah, because it shows the type of the interest in like your fan base, how much they like they want to know more about you, that they take the time to go check out your personal Instagram.
Yeah,
and not just like the content that you put out for them. So let's kind of like dive into, obviously you talked about your experience with military. What inspired that? Is that something that you knew coming straight out of high school that you wanted to do? Is that something that you had planned like as a child? Like, you know what, I want to join the military? Or where did you get to the point where like, you know what, I'm going to go to the military?
Okay, yeah. So last 2 weeks of high school is when I decided I wanted to join the military.
So just 2 weeks took.
Yeah. So I took the ASVAB in my junior year of high school, and the ASVAB is the test you take to pretty much qualify to enlist in a branch of service. And it was during second period. Second period was athletics. I was like, all right, I'm trying to skip this workout for today. So I took the ASVAB as a joke, right? I got a 70 on it. That's on the far high end of the ASVAB. And after that, I started getting calls from like the Air Force, the Marines. The Navy never called me, so we lucked out on that one. Didn't want to join the Navy anyway. But then the Army called me as well. And I was like, nah, like miss me with that. I'm not trying to join the military. That's not for me. And fast forward to senior year, beginning of senior year, right? They're like, hey, they're still calling me. They're like, hey, do you want to join? I'm like, nope, do not want to join. I'm going to college. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna do that fun stuff, right? And everybody's doing their college applications, whatever. I got accepted to UTSA, and I'm a procrastinator, right? So I procrastinated on doing the housing application. So I missed the housing deadline, and I was like, oh shit, like, where am I gonna live at college, And so I was like, all right, my buddy David, he had already enlisted, and my buddy Jonathan DeLeon, he had enlisted too, and I was like, well, might as well enlist now. So I called the recruiter. I was like, hey, I'm trying to join. I want to be a medic, nothing else. If you get me medic, I'll join. He got me medic. I went to MEPS 2 days before my high school graduation, enlisted, raised my hand and, said the oath, and I was like enlisted. I was good to go. Came back, graduated like a day and a half later. And then I had that whole summer to pretty much chill, and then I shipped out September 20th, 2015. And that's what started my military journey. It was not planned at all. Last minute thing. Don't procrastinate, because then you might join the military, guys.
But it's not like it was a mistake. I mean,
no. It definitely gave me a lot. I'm very happy that I missed the housing deadline. I didn't even want to. I didn't even know what I wanted to do in college at that point in time yet. So it was a blessing in disguise, because I feel like it would have just been a waste of money. Not that college is a giant waste of money. It's just, if you don't know what you're doing, maybe it's not for you at that point in time. Yeah,
and I feel like you're an ambitious person overall. So I feel like even if you did do the college route, you would have some way, shape, or form found something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it definitely a blessing in disguise, because the route that you've taken has obviously resulted into where you're at right now.
Yeah.
Where you have the YouTube channels and all that. How was your experience overall? Like, if you can explain it in a nutshell, the military, like, go on like that. Like, is it something that you pictured it to be? Is it overall good, overall bad? What would you say?
I'd say depending on your leadership, it can be good or it can be bad. I had a very neutral experience. I definitely had some bad times in the military, but I definitely had some good times as well. Overall, I don't regret anything I've ever had to do in the military or my time in the service. It was a good time. I met a lot of great people. That's probably one of the best things about the military is the people you meet. So many different cultures that you would have never expected to like be friends with or even meet in your lifetime.
Sure.
So I'm very fortunate for that. But in general, overall, I had a good time. I learned a lot of medical stuff because I was a 68 whiskey combat medic. And, things that I could take from the military into the civilian side should I ever want to do something medical related. I have that knowledge, I can treat people, should a family member, be having some issue health-wise, at least to the best of my abilities. By no means anything near a doctor, but, have worked with them. And just having the medical experience in the Army and just, learning, getting the discipline of being a soldier was pretty dope. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I don't regret my time at all.
Sure. You talk about in your videos how turning a civilian to a soldier. Mm-hmm. How does that process work? Is it just a lot of beatdown? Is it a lot of working out? What is that?
So I'd say it's like a mix of a lot of things. So you're definitely going to be getting smoked a lot. For those of you that don't know what getting smoked means, you're going to be doing a lot of push-ups, a lot of running, a lot of sit-ups, a lot of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And they do that because they want to get you strong physically and they want to get you strong mentally. Because I always say that our high school football program was way harder than anything I've ever done.
Really?
In basic training. Yeah, 100%. Like, because the coaches have no limits, you know what I mean? Because we did football together, and we had this little like spring training or off-season workout called like House of Pain.
House of Pain.
And to me personally, that was harder than anything I've ever done physically. Sure. Maybe mentally as well, because the coaches don't really have a limit onto how many push-ups or what type of workouts they can make you do. The drill sergeants, they can only make you do like 10 at a time. They have to pick you up, and then if they want to make you do another 10, they have to go through like different things to do it. But overall, back to the main question is how do you go from a civilian to a soldier? You go a lot of smokings, a lot of mental training, a lot of memorization of like the Army song, the Soldier's Creed, just a bunch of different stuff that they try to instill in you throughout the phases of basic training. So red, white, and blue phase, which were there when I was going back through, but now they added a yellow phase, which really is important. It's just like a quarantine phase because of the corona. But each phase covers a different like topic pretty much, or a different focuses on a different set of skills. So like red phase is like the beat down phase, like you're getting smoked for any little thing you do, any small infraction, like hey, do push-ups, you're getting yelled at, the drill sergeants are in your face, and they're really just trying to get you to start doing right without having to be told to do right. White phase focuses more on a little like marksmanship. Blue phase is just kind of bringing everything you've learned together, and they're not as hard on you because they expect you to be doing the right thing. Yeah. But it's also the punishment is a lot greater in blue phase because you're supposed to be doing right. You're expected to be doing right. So the minute
higher standard.
Yeah. So the minute you mess up, they're like, oh, okay, you guys want to fuck around? Cool. Let's send you all the way back to red phase, or let's take away your privileges. You guys want to be acting stupid? You're gonna win some stupid prizes. And the process is very thorough, and it's very meticulous because they want to make sure that you get to where you need to be in terms of being a soldier.
For sure. Let's talk a little bit about that House of Pain, going back to that House of Pain.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why that was so crucial. First of all, it's not like if they tampered it, everybody was doing the same workouts. Mm-hmm. It was like the receivers, like all these athletic guys are doing the same thing as the DTs were, the linemen were doing. That was crucial. Yeah. And it's every single day. So, like, your body literally doesn't have any type of recovery time or anything like that. You have to be drinking your water. You have to be getting your rest and all this stuff. Hell week. Football in general, like, I can kind of relate to you where you say, like, I mean, I know nothing about military. I didn't do anything like that. No research or anything like that. But, like, for me, football... Like, if I can picture the military, I picture, like, the football, like that type of stuff. And where you said that probably one of the best things was, like, the friendships that you got from it. Because straight out of high school, I had the mentality where I kind of regretted even doing football. I was like, man, I should have learned an instrument. I should have done something that was going to be beneficial because... I was like, let's be honest, I'm not going to go play in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So what type of, like, how did that benefit me? And now looking back at it, it taught me a lot of discipline. It built a lot of friendships that I have today. And even though I'm not, like, on a day-to-day contact with those people, at least, like, if I run into them in my direct community, I'm able to be like, hey, what's up? How you been? Yeah. So it's kind of like building bridges. But... So you talked about your experience in the military, but let's kind of go into, because you're in a relationship right now, and then you were telling me a little bit more before the podcast. Explain that process because that is part of your experience in the military. How did that go about? Because I think it's very interesting. You can even go into like the show aspect because I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, like my relationships in the military, I guess, because the girlfriend I'm with currently happened towards the end of my military career. There was a few other girls before that one while I was in the military. It's definitely, you got to be willing to put in work in order to maintain a relationship, because I was talking to like two different girls like at a different time, obviously, not at the same time.
Well, no wonder you're putting in work.
Right. But it was, like either lack of communication that killed it, or it was just, right person, wrong time type of stuff. And so it was just kind of like the disconnect there, because I was either in the field doing field training, or they were in college doing studying and all that stuff. And it was just kind of like this isn't gonna work out. But all of them ended really like mutually, like nothing like super crazy. It was just like, hey, like it's just not gonna work out. And so we moved on. And so like, would you say military relationships is a little bit more difficult? Yeah, definitely. To sustain. Because I remember when I was in basic training, I got cheated on, and I was like, all right, so fuck relationships. I'm not gonna do that. And I was in 2015, so I was single for like 2 years after that, up until like maybe late 2017, early 2018. Then I started talking to like a girl again. We dated for like a couple months. It ended because of like the communication stuff and just the lack of not being together. Yeah. So then I was single for like a year after that. Flash forward, I'm in Korea, and my channel is starting to take off. I think I hit like my first 1,000 when I was in Korea in December. You say that so like, oh yeah, I hit my first 1,000. I remember. I know it sounds so casual, but I remember the road up to 1,000 was like, I remember checking my YouTube, refreshing Social Blade all the time. I'm like, yo, like yes, we hit 300, let's go, or we hit 500, like yes, and it's just constantly checking and going up and up, and finally hit it in December of what I believe 2018. And I was finally able to get monetized, start making, a couple of bucks like here, and it was like $10, I think, or like 19. But still, it's like it's part of the process. It's exciting because it's like, what, like I can get, okay, it's just $10, but I can make some type of revenue off of this. It's like I'm to be able to make money from your passion that's what I mean. I love monetizing my passions. That we'll probably get into that later. We are gonna get into that, actually. But back to the girlfriend, right? So. This girl followed me on Instagram, right? She started liking a couple of my pictures. I was like, I bet. So went back, started liking some of her pictures as well. And then she messaged me and she was like, oh, hey, like I've seen your YouTube channel. Like you're pretty cute. Like, can you tell me more about being a medic in the Army? I was like, yeah, sure. And so it was just back and forth. And, eventually we just kept on texting and just not about the Army. And it was just like, oh, hey, what are your hobbies? What are you into? And it just kind of naturally progressed from there. We started talking, and then we talked for like my entire time, the second half of my time in Korea, like the tail end of our rotation there. And I got back to the States June 11th, 2019, and we were still talking. And I think in October is when she came down here to the Valley for the first time. And that's when I asked her to be my girlfriend, because I like doing things in person. Yeah, for sure. So I waited and asked her, and she was like, yeah. And we've been dating pretty much since October 15th, and we've been going at it for now. There's definitely been some rough patches, definitely been a couple things here and there, but we've worked on it. We've gotten stronger together, and so much so we actually did a show together. Yeah. I can't tell these guys as much as I told you, simply because we're under contract. Okay. And things like that, but we were able to do a show together, pretty much highlighting some of the issues with like long distance relationships, where one person's in the military, the other person's a civilian, and you're separated by however many miles, or cultural differences and things like that. So it's gonna be real cool. It's gonna be aired on what? I can't say that either. Okay. But he's gonna be on TV. Yeah. So it's gonna be on a streaming network, not a streaming service, but like on like it's a well-known network. You guys will know it. But it's gonna be fun, and just to go through that experience as well with her really grew us as a couple, because the producers, obviously they like to stir up a little bit of drama here and there. I wasn't playing that. I just told him like, no, I'm not gonna do that, or no, like I can just leave right now, like you guys need me more than I need you, type of thing. Like I wasn't going to do anything to compromise who I was as a person, you know what I mean? And they were like, okay, yeah, you know what, we get that. And it was a good time. Made good friends with the producers, learned a lot of stuff about production, learned about audio, visuals. I was like picking their brains nonstop. I was like, yo, so like what kind of cameras do you guys use? They're like, oh, we use these bad boys, like $150K just to rent this thing. I was like, oh my God, that's insane. But it was a lot of good times, especially to go through that with my girlfriend. And we're just continuing to grow. This is the one that's probably lasted way longer than any girlfriend I've ever had while I was in the military. Anyways, whenever that airs, I need to get you back on the podcast, whether it's Zoom call, Discord, whatever it's at. That way you can kind of like plug that into. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about where this, because you kind of talked about it before the podcast, where that passion came from, to, and you said I want to be famous, right? But like, why you decided to start a YouTube channel and this desire in you to start to make content.
Yeah.
Where did that come out from? Let's talk about what inspired it. You talked a little bit about theater, and then to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna start a YouTube channel.
Yeah. All right. So I guess it kind of starts like ever since I was little, I've always had like major social anxiety, right? Like I remember going to like pre-K, kindergarten, up until like 6th grade. I would like cry the first day of school. I was so nervous. I would throw up. I'd be like to my mom, I'm like, oh no, don't leave. Like just super nervous, like just worrisome, like just all the time. And like later on, I got diagnosed with anxiety, right? But I was like, yo, that makes sense. Like I knew it, bro. I knew it. But obviously now it's more manageable. I'm older. I'm not a little kid anymore.
You think being diagnosed you think that was better for you, or do you think that was worse for you? Because a lot of people, it's different. A lot of people, they own it, and then they let that like run their life. I have anxiety. Woe is me. Yeah. And then other people's like, okay, I have this. Let me learn more about it and let me own it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely more on the own it side.
Okay.
And I'll get into that too once we hit on this topic that you just asked me. But pretty much, so yeah, socially awkward, not awkward, but anxious all the time, right? I go to 6th grade, I'm doing book reports, like cool, starting to like just kind of get a little more confident and like speaking in front of people and stuff like that, but never like the outgoing type, never really an extrovert.
Yeah.
But you flash forward to theater my sophomore year, because we had a separate campus for the 9th grade, so we didn't have theater in the 9th grade campus we had. But I took it. I had a computer class first, and I didn't like the teacher. I was like, all right, cool. My girlfriend had theater. I was like, all right, I'm gonna switch to theater. Just chill with my girlfriend, have a good time, right? And I switched, and we had to do like these little skits in the beginning of class. So it was me, my girlfriend, and like 2 other people like on our team to make a skit. And we did it, and Mr. McConnell, the theater teacher, he was like, yo, that was really good. Like, you guys got to, like, are you guys staying in this class? Like, I was like, yeah, I mean, I took it. I don't think I can switch anymore.
Yeah.
And so we did a play. I had, like, a small role that one my sophomore year, and took it, didn't think anything of it. I finished my sophomore year. I'm a junior now. I have art. I fucking hate art. I can't draw for shit. And my girlfriend had art too. I was like, yo, do you want to switch back to theater? Like, that was pretty fun. Like, it was chill. Like, unless you're like actually rehearsing lines and going over stuff, like you're really not doing a whole lot. And so I thought it was cool. It was a nice like little break class period where you could just chill. You could learn a couple things. You can act and just act a goof, right?
Yeah.
So junior year, I got a little more prominent roles. I was like, awesome. And then the end of my junior year, Mr. McConnell was like, hey, I'm thinking of making you and Alexia, my girlfriend at the time, the department heads of theater. And I was like, yo, that's wild. And I was doing football. Me and Roger, we did football. But going into my senior year, I was like, yeah, I really don't think I got time for both. So I stopped doing football, and I completely committed to theater my senior year. I think senior year I had, I think it was the first semester or second semester, but I had first period was English, second was theater for 1 act, third was tech theater, fourth was theater 1 again, and then fifth I had gym, and Coach Kretz would let me go to theater all the time. So I literally 4 out of 5 periods I was just spending in theater, like just doing different things. And it was a lot of fun.
You had a great senior year.
Dude, yeah. I got my math done junior year. I was like, I ain't taking math senior year, bro.
I had some great teachers too. Like, they were pretty chill, but like, to be in my favorite class at almost every...
And if you know McConnell too, he was super chill. Like, he'd always have snacks. He just let us do like, not whatever. He was a good teacher, but it was really cool because he was a teacher, but he was also like a good mentor. And he was kind of like not as strict, you know what I mean? But he would, if you did something wrong, like he'd send you to the office.
Yeah,
and shit.
I actually know nothing about him. I know a lot of people would go to theater, and everybody was like, "It's so cool," and like there's a lot of football players that would go to theater. That was not one of that person. I knew nothing about theater, but the teacher nothing.
Yeah, he was a great guy, right? And he was a real mentor to me. It was a good time. And so pretty much senior year is when we started doing a lot of plays, right? And I was getting good. I was like acting. I think I had like every lead role senior year, mostly because McConnell would let me pick what roles I want. I was like, well, I want the lead. So, so I would do them. And my senior year, I got to direct the first play that I ever did as a sophomore, because it had been like 2.5 years already. Nobody was going to remember it. So we needed to do a play. I was like, yo, let's do Broadway Lullaby. And so I gave myself the main villain character. And I remember I had this elderly woman come up to me. She was like, you were so good out there. Like, you can really tell, like, you know, like you put your heart into it. Like, you know, you watch some of these other people, like it's kind of like whatever, but like you were like just out there, and it was a good performance from you. And I thought that was cool, right? And I was like, that's awesome. And then we did a children's play, because we got to skip class and like put on a show for like a couple of elementary kids. And we did a couple of regular elementary classes, and then we did one with the special needs classes as well. And we were doing it, and at the very end, they were all smiling, laughing, clapping. McConnell texted me after the show. He was like, yo, like, you really made those kids' day. Like, it's not every day they get to leave like class and come to the high school and see a show. And so from then on, I just wanted to like create content and just inspire people, and like pretty much see the look on like those children's faces, but like on everybody's faces. Yeah. And that's when it really kind of solidified for me. I was like, you know what? I wanna keep creating content. Like, I want to be famous. I want my name to be known. I want people to see the stuff I'm putting out there. I want to continue to grow and do things like this. So like since then, like my dream has been to like be famous, I guess you could say. And some people are like, oh, you know, that's a very vague dream. Like, you know, famous could mean anything. Like, I just want to be famous. Like, I want my name known. I want you to be able to Google search Ben Allen and, you know, my name pop up or something. I want like a verification badge on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be. Like, that's my goal for right now. That's like, I'd say that's not like the main goal, but it's up there with some of the aspirations that I have. Yeah. And
let's keep it real. Like, that is something that motivates you. There has to be some drive, and for a bunch of different people, it's different things, right? And that's your drive, and you don't have to be ashamed about that. I know my wife can tell. And I know, like, especially some of my older friends, I used to always say that, like, I want my name to be remembered. I used to say, I want my name to be in the history books. Yeah. Like, that's the type of person that I was. So it's good to hear from somebody else, even though some people are like, oh, well, that guy's cocky, or that guy's this and that.
And I mean, if I come off as cocky, you know, you're probably right. I'm cocky as shit. But I guess I like to say there's a difference, right? You can be confident or cocky. Cocky to me is when you're talking out your ass, you really can't back it up. But when you're confident, like, you know you got it, and you know if you say something, you're going to be able to do it. So I'd probably say I'm overly confident, because I really don't say something unless I know 100% that I can do it, or I can beat, you know, if I'm competing against somebody, if I can beat that person or whatever.
Cocky is more of like ignorance. Like, really, like you said, talking senseless.
Mm-hmm. And like, I used to be really cocky when I was younger, but, you know, again, going through the military, it really humbles you, because I wasn't like the best soldier ever. You know, I was like an average person. I definitely lied here and there, you know, every once in a while, but those lies caught up to me and got me in trouble. And I realized, you know what, it's probably a lot easier just to tell the truth every time and hurt people's feelings than to, you know, tell a lie and have it bite you in the ass later. So now I try to be as brutally honest with people as I can, even if it'll make them mad at me or if it'll get me in trouble. Like, I really don't care as long as I'm honest, because then I'm honest with myself, and nobody can say, you know, I'm fake or I switched up or anything like that. And so that's how I drive forward in terms of people talking about my channel, or like, you know, just being a good person.
Yeah. And what you're doing there is you're protecting your reputation. You're not leaving any breadcrumbs for people to be like, oh, well, he said this time, and now he's saying this. Like, now you're building a reputation. Like, okay, yes, he's brutally honest, but he's honest. And then now, whenever I want to know, when I'm in need for advice, I know I can go to Ben, because yes, he might be very like crucial about it, but at least he's gonna tell me the truth.
And so, you know, with being confident, right, like, I've learned a lot, because I was never confident like growing up as a kid, and to have this, like, you know, have it now is really great, because I can say and do all the things that I wanted to do, maybe after watching a cartoon or whatever, seeing like the cool character do whatever, and like, oh, I can do that now. Like, I'm not afraid of being embarrassed. I'm not afraid of putting myself out there. I actually like it when people laugh at me, or they're like, they tell me something like that's brutally honest, or like as if like I like when people like say things that are probably like meant as insults, but I take it to the point where it's like it's like they're throwing like gold nuggets at me, right? Like it's gonna hit me, it's gonna fall to the ground, I'm gonna pick it up, cool, I got some gold now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I take insults, because like they're being honest when they're insulting you, you know what I mean? So I can work
I see
on
it a
those
little bit
things.
different. I was actually talking to my assistant yesterday, and I was talking about I've learned to take these people's insults as like kind of like constructive criticism, or you can kind of like distribute whether it's just straight up hate, or if like, because when I would release a video, when I would do this, when I would do that, and then immediately you would get like kind of like negative feedback. To someone who's very sensitive, that can hurt their feelings or whatever. But I've learned through the maturity is like, you know what, like I'm gonna take this, because right, we're producing content for the audience, right? Let's take this as constructive criticism as much as we can, and then let's learn from it. Maybe the opinion is valid, and then maybe it's like, I understand your opinion, but this is my show.
Exactly. And that's what I mean when I say like the gold nuggets, you know what I mean? Because like they may be insulting you, but like I like to think, if somebody's like, say like I'm fat, right? And people are like, oh, you're fat. Versus my friends are like, bro, you're not fat. Don't worry about it. Like, okay, that's a bunch of bullshit. Right? I weighed myself this morning. I'm fat as shit. You know what I mean? Versus somebody telling you how it is, but like, yeah, you're right, man. And you can make fun of me that, because that's something I can control. I can control, like how big I am, right? And this is just an example, right? I don't view myself as big right now, but back then in the day, yeah, I was pretty chunky. And so I value when people like insult me, or, they just tell me things how it is, because I can take those. I can, like you said, right, you can view it as, okay, hey, that's valid, let me work on that, or hey, that's a cool opinion, but whatever, I don't care. And you pick and choose what you're going to take to heart and work on. And that's how I try to drive forward in my thought process when people, tell me things. So,
that's good. So let's get to the point where like one day you're like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Where does that like direct inspiration come from?
Okay, yeah. So I was like, 2 years into my Army contract. I started a YouTube channel back, like if you check my date on my YouTube channel when it was created back in 2016 December, and we were in Kuwait at the time. That's in the Middle East, for those of you that may not know. But I was like, yo, like pretty much the only thing you could do over there for fun was like go to the gym. It was like a base in the middle of the desert.
That's right. You started a YouTube channel on fitness, right?
Mm-hmm. And you're pretty much like nowhere to go. Like it's the desert. It's one base. The next base is like 2 hours away by bus, and it takes forever to get there. And so the only fun thing to do is go to the gym, So we're all gymming it up. I'm like, yo, this is pretty fun. I'm on YouTube watching fitness YouTubers. I'm like, I want to do that. Maybe this is how I'll get famous, right? Flash forward, did not get famous from being a fitness YouTuber, but it started a lot of the baselines for where my channel is now, because
for sure.
I remember watching, I'd be taking notes in my green book. I'm like, okay, fitness YouTubers to watch, like where do I want to draw information from? Cool, let me get this started. So I started my YouTube channel. I had like a cheap little banner made that I made on some website, and it was just like super simple. My first profile picture was like a douchebag picture I had in my phone. I just put Ben Allen on there. I thought of Ben Allen. I was like, cool, Ben Alvarado really doesn't sound marketable, right? It's kind of it's a mouthful, but my middle name's Allen, so hey, let's go with Ben Allen. It's super short, super simple, and a lot of people can just kind of like, relate to it.
Yeah.
In my eyes anyway. And so I started it. I ordered my camera towards the end of my rotation to Kuwait, so it'd get to my buddy's house when we got back to the States. And I had my intros made. I just went to YouTube. I was like, free YouTube intros, whatever, cool. Edited my name in there. That's how we did it. And we get back to the States. I remember my first video was just kind of like me introducing myself, like super nervous, super like, oh, hi guys, I'm Ben Alvarado. I did 4 years in the Army. Not back then, it wasn't 4 years, but it was super cringy. It's not on my channel anymore, and I didn't delete it because I was ashamed of it. I deleted it because I got in trouble for a video I posted while I was in the Army, so I had to delete it just in case it came back to me, because
you released too much information, or?
No, I didn't release too much information. It's just I told them it wasn't my YouTube channel, just in case they were going to try and tell me to like, oh, stop filming videos, like, oh, well, it's not my channel, so I could still post even though I didn't own it. So, but in that first video, I was like, oh, this is my channel, you know. So it would kind of like if they went back that far. So it was just to save my own ass in case they were like trying to punish me to the fullest extent. Because social media and the military, it's a very thin line. They're very peculiar. Like you could say. You could be doing all the good in the world, but you say something wrong that makes the army look bad or something. They're like guns blazing and like shut that shit down. So I didn't want that to happen. So I was like ready to sign over my channel to like a family member, be like, oh, I just create the content. I'm not posting it. Just to save my ass. But that's neither here nor there, right? So we're continuing on with the channel, right? We're getting everything set. I filmed my first video. My second video is about like five tips on how to lose weight or something like that. And then it's just intermittent fasting, and then a couple of meal prep videos, and I'm not hitting anything. Like it flopped. Like my videos are doing shitty. I hit like 100 subscribers in the first month, but after that it got real stagnant, and I was like kind of really demotivated. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm not gonna post anything else, and I posted like 6 videos. I stopped, and then I didn't post anything for 5 months, and that was kind of it. I did like a vlog here and there. But then you fast forward to those 5 months, I'm starting to go to BLC, which is Basic Leaders Course in the Army. It's pretty much a course you got to take in order to become a sergeant and get your NCO rank, and you can start like actually leading soldiers after that. And so I'm in this class, and I'm just like, I tell one of my buddies like, oh yeah, I got a YouTube channel, and he just takes it and runs with it. He starts telling everybody's like, yo, Ben Allen's gotta look up Ben Allen on YouTube, go check him out, blah blah. And I'm like, oh, bro, like, cut it out, whatever. And he keeps doing that to the point where one of our leadership finds out, and our first sergeant, who's pretty high ranking compared to what rank we were, and he comes into the classroom, and he tells the instructors, like, oh, look up Ben Allen on YouTube. Put him up there right now on the screen. And so they look me up, they play one of my videos. It's like the fitness content. I had like one Army vlog on there, or one Army like montage video, I guess. And he's like, yo, this is good right here. Like, you're out here helping your battle buddies, getting them fit, all that stuff. I'm like, oh, thanks, First Sergeant. I appreciate that. And then I'm like, all right, guys, just turn it off. You guys are embarrassing me, whatever. And one dude in my class, right, we were friends. We had just met. So we were, like, brand new friends. And he tells me, like, nah, bro, don't be embarrassed, right? Like, you're the one that's out there. And he gave me a quote by Teddy Roosevelt titled "The Man in the Arena." I always paraphrase it because it's pretty long and they use a lot of big words in it. But pretty much it goes on to say, like, those who don't, like, put themselves out there will never know success or defeat. And all they can do, really, if they're mocking you, if they're making fun of you, like, cool, just shrug it off. Like, they're not even willing to take the step and put themselves out there and, be able to do the stuff that you're doing, whether it's me doing a YouTube channel or Roger doing his podcast or just anybody attempting to do something for the first time and failing horribly, right? Like my channel, it failed horribly, like in my eyes anyway. Some people, at first, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. And I got discouraged, but I was able to take what I learned from failing that first part and apply it to when I revamped my channel after this, and just, taking okay, well, that didn't work, let's try this. And so I knew that, and pretty much the quote goes on to say, like, those that didn't try wouldn't even be able to learn from that experience because they didn't even try and to experience it in the first place. And so that day when I got home from class, I made a YouTube video. I was like, hey, I'm back on YouTube, this is what you can expect, like, let's do it, let's put the content out there. And I made like another Army video and a couple ones after that, and then I went home on leave, or not on leave. Yeah, I was leave actually, because we're getting ready to go to South Korea. And I barely started dating a girl at this point in time. We were talking for like, a month or two. We dated for like a month. And then she was like, oh, hey, like, I'm going through some stuff right now. I think it's best if we just go our separate ways. I was like, cool. And, I went through like a little mini depression, that little breakup depression. For sure. And so I was like, well, shit, bro. I guess I'm going to go invest back into myself. So that same day, I went out, bought a MacBook. I bought, what else did I buy? I bought some new clothes or something. But most importantly, it was the Mac. I bought the Mac, and I remember filming a channel trailer that like the day after. And I was like, this is what you can find out. Like, this is awesome. Like, cool, check me out, Ben Allen. And then I went back to base, and I filmed my first ever like Army related video talking about like, oh, what's reception in the Army like. And then after that, I did a basic training video, and that's the one. I think that's to this day is still my most viewed video. It has like 200 some thousand views on YouTube, and that's the one that kind of like started gaining me the traction and the momentum to produce military content. And so I continued to do it. I interviewed the third female nationwide to join as infantry, and after that, we just kept putting video after video to where we have like 300 some videos now, and it's only been like 2.5 years since I seriously started posting military content. And at first, it was just kind of me wanting to continue the dream of being famous and getting my name out there. And now it's kind of transformed into still wanting to be famous and getting verified on social medias and all that stuff, but to also helping the new generation of like incoming soldiers and answering the questions that I had when I was coming into the military, because I'd be looking up like, oh, what's basic training red phase like, and there'd be nothing. I'm like,
so
all right, cool.
You think this category of like your YouTube channel, military based, you think that happened naturally, or was that strategic? Like, I know there's gonna be a big audience. I'm sure that there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be searching this up because they're curious, right? Was it more like a marketing thing, or was it more like a natural, like, you know what, I'm going through this and I kind of want to help the people, or I went through this and I want to help the people that...
For me, I think it was a mix of both, because like I said, I like monetizing my passions, right? I'm passionate about creating content, and I was in the military at the time. I was like, hey, I like the military, so let me create this content, because I know like I had these questions, somebody else is bound to have these questions. And the thing about the military is it really doesn't change a whole lot. It's not, every year or so there's like a few changes here and there, but my basic training video that I put out in 2018 holds relevance today in 2021. And so educational content on YouTube is kind of like a vlog, right? You post a vlog for like September 30th, 2021, whatever. Cool. That day's over. Nobody cares. But you post, how to survive basic training, that, stands the test of time for at least another 5-6 years until they change it, right? And it's a constant influx of new audience, because every year, every month, people are joining the military.
For sure.
They're going to have questions. And so it was kind of, hey, I want to make military content because that's what I'm doing. That's my life right now. And so it'd be cool to see, right? But also because I want to be able to help answer these questions for incoming soldiers and help make their time in the military a little easier, because, going from either right out of high school, or say you're 27 years old, you just quit your job and you're looking for something else to do. Like it's kind of nerve-wracking, right? And you want to ease those nerves. So what do? You look up stuff on YouTube, right? And I want to be able to help those individuals, not be as nervous going in, and just telling them like, hey, it's not that hard. If you go in there with a positive mindset, you're going to be good. Check out these videos. I have a variety talking about different jobs, different AITs, which is advanced individual training, which is after basic training, and just a lot of basic training videos in general.
And I think you're doing a really good job informing the people that are coming in, because like I said, I did no type of research of the military or anything like that. I wasn't even interested in it, but just watching your YouTube videos kind of informs me a little bit of like, if I was somebody wanting to go in, I would know a little bit more or less what to expect. And then what I also like about you is that you're not afraid to invite guests that specialize on other fields of the military in order to help your audience. Right? Instead of having this big old ego, big old head, like I know everything and stuff like that. No, that this person might know a little bit. Well, this person knows a lot more than what I know in that area. Let me invite them in and let me let them educate my audience. I think that's really good. I think you're doing a really good job. Even on the little stuff, like you made the video, the time that you can expect to have off, or like
I just put that one out, I think, but like this past Friday.
So like little stuff like that people are probably not even gonna search that up. You know what I mean? But if they're subscribed to your channel, it's just like, this is good information. So I think you're doing a good job overall, informing the newcomers and the people that are planning to join the military that have a lot of questions. So I think you are gonna ease those nerves. And when did this whole like? Cause I know you mentioned it a little bit. The Pokemon channel.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like I've always played the Pokemon games, right? And again, I love creating content and I love monetizing my passions, right? So I've played the Pokemon games for as long as I can remember. I remember Fire Red was the first one I got like back for one Christmas. My brother got Leaf Green. I had Fire Red. Played them. Played almost every Pokemon game after that. And then I got out of the military in 2019. And my older cousin, he was opening up packs of Pokemon cards. And he was like, "Oh, here, you guys can open some." So I opened one. I got a good card, and it was kind of like, it's kind of like gambling in a sense, but not to the extreme, right? And just pulling a nice, beautiful card. You're like, "Oh, I remember this Pokemon. I used to play with, like, he used to be in my party in the game or something, right?" And it just kind of grew from there. I bought like a couple packs after that. I was like, "Yo, this is fun. Like, I like opening up Pokemon cards. Like, this is dope." And so I figured, like, like, it's kind of expensive to buy Pokemon cards. So I figured, well, I got to find some way to fuel this passion. And, what better way than to, hey, start a TikTok, right? And I knew when I started this TikTok that it was going to be big. I knew, like, it wouldn't be hard to, like, transfer people over from TikTok to YouTube. So this was a lot more strategic than my military one. Yeah. I was like, people love Pokemon cards. People love Pokemon in general.
People love Pokemon.
Yeah, bro. And even with Logan Paul, bro, like, he's going crazy. He really revamped the hobby. It's great that he did it. Kind of sucks because it's like impossible to find Pokemon cards nowadays. But it really built the hype around it. And luckily, I got into Pokemon before Logan Paul started, posting content about it. So I can't say I'm like, I hopped on the bandwagon.
Yeah. And some of these cards are expensive, right? They're like,
they go pretty wild. Like I pulled like 3 cards that if I get them graded and they come back at a 10, they're like, like $700 a pop. The older ones, like the vintage cards, go for like a lot more. Like the first edition Charizard sells for like you're gonna get way more than $20,000 for it. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know the exact price. I don't want to say that I do because I don't. But
what's so significant about it though?
Dude, collectors, they just like having the cards, and they don't make them anymore. So just to have them is just a giant flex in the Pokemon community. And I maybe one day I'll own one, but not right now because that shit's expensive. But I'm having fun just opening packs up on my TikTok. I started in like December of 2020 or maybe November. It was probably November, and I put a lot more effort into starting up this YouTube channel and this TikTok. Like I had my profile picture made, I had my banner made, I had everything like prepared before I even launched. So it looks professional, it looks good. And then my TikTok, I remember posting a couple pack openings. Cool, we did great. I was like, yo, I'm trying to hit 5K by the end of this month, right? I posted a video, it blew up, it got like 400,000 views. I passed 5K, and then off of that one little video on TikTok, I went up to like 60K.
TikTok is so weird. I can't figure out the algorithm on TikTok.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, I wish I could say I know how it works, but I don't. I think it just comes down to dumb luck and just making enjoyable content.
Because I can kind of figure out the algorithms and all the other social medias, but TikTok, it's really random. Like it's really like, I don't understand how people end up on like For You pages and stuff like that. It is really random. So I don't know. TikTok's tricky. I'm trying to figure out TikTok too, because all of like my followers on Twitch, because I do stream gaming, they're always like, you need to upload on TikTok. You need to upload on TikTok. If you want this to blow up, you need to upload on TikTok. Because everybody's on TikTok right now. But it's just so confusing to me. Obviously not to upload the videos, but how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
Like, it's really crazy.
And the one thing I noticed, because like with my military TikTok, I can't really just bust out 7 videos a day to like see what works or doesn't work, because I actually have to think about my TikTok's also for like my more comedic military stuff. My YouTube's informative military stuff, but TikTok's like me recreating like stuff that could happen in the military, but in a comedic sense, because there's a lot of funny shit that could happen in the military, and I'm like, okay, well, let's make fun of it on TikTok, and so that's what I do. But for my Pokemon YouTube, or TikTok, I have a bunch of packs, right? I can open up 7 packs and post 7 videos a day doing different things, using hashtags, using a description, and seeing what works. Most of my videos that have taken off and hit, I don't even put hashtags. I don't even put like a description or a caption. I just post it and it just, it bangs.
On TikTok.
Yeah, on TikTok.
See, that's what I mean.
And it's crazy. I'm like, okay, all right.
Because every other social media would like you have to put hashtags, you have to put the right wording, keywords or whatever it is, and then like you said, I've seen other people like flex like no hashtags, this is gonna be on the For You page, and it ends up on my For You page, and I'm like, what? Like, that is crazy.
It's pretty wild, man. I'm just like, all right. And I guess I got lucky on the Pokemon stuff because what has it been, like November, December, January, February? It's been like 3.5 months, maybe 4 since I started the Pokemon one, and now we're sitting at like 135. And it's so easy to grow my YouTube after that because I'm like, every 100K I'll do a giveaway, and I'll post a little screenshot of my TikTok bio, and I'm like, yo, this is how many followers I have right now. Once I get to 200K, we're gonna be doing another giveaway, and I'll circle my YouTube link in my bio in a red little, like, the Snapchat circle thing. And so I'll circle it. I'm like, oh, and if you're a real one, you want to support my Pokemon YouTube channel, click the link, subscribe, and comment your TikTok username. That way I know, hey, like, this guy's always here. They're a real one. They want to get picked for the giveaway. And so we grew my YouTube channel. We started around the same time as TikTok to about like 1,000 some right now. And if you guys don't know, it's like pretty hard to grow on YouTube compared to most other social medias. For sure. So we're doing decent on there.
More than decent. You're doing more than decent. Your standards are way too high.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time at this point.
It is difficult because I don't know. It's just hard to find people on YouTube. It's not like well, first of all, the YouTube algorithm works like interactions. Mm-hmm. How many YouTube videos are you putting out? How many comments are you getting? How many likes are you getting? Shares, all of that stuff. And then it's not like Facebook where everybody's on there every single day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And a lot of the older people like don't really mess with like YouTube or anything like that. So it's a little bit more difficult to grow your YouTube channel as opposed to TikTok. Everybody's on TikTok now, especially the younger generation. They're on TikTok and they know what's up, bro. Mm-hmm. They're sharing links.
Wow, they're copy link like 30 times. They're sharing that shit. Yeah. They go ham, dude. This new generation's crazy with social media.
We need to mold with them.
But and that's good. I use that to my advantage, bro. Like my Pokemon audience is probably like 9 to 13-year-olds just watching me open up cards. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's dope. Like, I know my audience, my military content is like 17-year-olds to, going up to mid-30s. Yeah. And so I just play on that. I cater like my content to the audience. I'm like, all right, that's what they want to see. Let's do it. And it's super easy because like TikTok from a Pokemon channel, I'm like, yo, comment a number for the pack that you want me to open. They comment, I pick it, I pick the pack, I open it, and we go from there. Yeah. And it's like interactive. Yeah.
And that's smart because you know that your audience is younger. For the Pokemon, you're uploading a lot more fun, giddy content, and then you know that the people on the military side, they're a little bit older, a little bit more mature. You're a little bit more informative. Yeah, so that's huge. And then you also have different categories, like subcategories within your YouTube channel. On the military side, you do the podcasts, you do the Q&As, you do reaction videos, right? Yeah. You do. There's another one. What else do you do?
I do like medic content. I do the ACFT content.
Yeah, you just have a lot of which is good because you're building avenues for yourself. Like, okay, I don't have any like deep informative content. Like, let me just do a podcast. Yeah. And let me invite a guest. And that's smart. Like that. That's a very strategic move for you to do.
Yeah, and then even after that, like say like I get tired of just making informative content, I'm just gonna straight up fall back on just TikTok reaction videos, reacting to like cringy military content. Because those hit. I have a buddy that does that right now. He's almost to 100K on YouTube, and like he'll post a video like the title is like complete clickbait. He's like, oh, these people got kicked out of the military for making TikToks, and so he'll react to them, and he'll get like 18K views in like an hour. I'm like, well, I mean, that's where the money's at, right? But right now I'm not so much about the money as in terms of putting the content out there that's informative and it's going to be helping
For
people.
sure.
But once I sell out and actually, make that content.
When's the merch coming out, bro?
Dude, so actually, I have a plan for that as well. I just created my third TikTok, which is going to be, it's like a team effort thing because I was a medic, right? I made a brand back in, when I first started YouTube. I was like at 4K and I started the store on Shopify. It was cool. Some Ben Allen merch, whatever. Some of them sold me like a few K, and Trauma Tribe, that was my main brand, right?
I seen y'all have shirts in your YouTube videos.
Yes.
I saw David have one.
And so that was short-lived, right? But it's a good idea. It's a catchy name, Trauma Tribe. Like the design's dope. And it's just really for the medical personnel. If you're a medic in the military, if you're a civilian in EMS, like that's what I want it to be for. But our designs were like very like clip arty, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And it was good. We had some people that were about it, but then I just decided to discontinue the store just because, we weren't really like doing as good as I wanted to do. So I was like, all right, cool. Call it quits for that. But I've always wanted to revive Trauma Tribe. And now that, I consider myself pretty good at social media and understanding how to grow a social media account and actually get an audience to engage with you through a lot of trial and error, through 5 or 6 different social medias that I've grown to a decent following.
Yeah.
And now I've started a third TikTok, which is called The Real Docs of TikTok. And I have 2 other medics that are in the Army and create funny military content, medic-related content on TikTok. And my goal for that is us 3 to build up this page up to 100K, and that's phase 1. And once we finish phase 1, we're gonna jump into distribution of Trauma Tribe, and that's when I already have the new designs from my guy that makes my banners, my thumbnails. He creates great art. It's gonna be like the revamped designs. Start off with an initial 3 designs, and those will be the mainstays. And then as we grow, we'll add some more. But I'm hoping that once we grow this account to 100K, we have a dedicated community of medical personnel, people that are either looking to get into the medical niche of things, or people that are on the civilian side that are like in EMS or just brand new 68 whiskeys that are like, yo, these medics are funny, bro. Let me get a Trauma Tribe shirt. Like I want to rep the brand. And so that's my current plan for that new brand and merch that I plan to roll out. And I can show you my the profile picture, I guess, because I had one of my buddies make it, and it looks pretty sick. And so that's pretty much what it looks like.
I'm going to have it on the screen for y'all here, so do not worry. That does look really good.
But so you got me in the middle, the female.
I didn't even know it was y'all.
Yeah.
It's an actual picture of y'all on the tank.
So it's a various picture. So they're individual pictures, but the artist was able to take us and make us like that and put us, drag and drop us. We have the medical vehicle that we use, and I don't know if you've ever seen this show. It's called The Real Bros of Simi Valley. No. And it's like just a major parody on like the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, those reality TV shows. And they're like, just parodying like the drama. They have that little reality show music playing. And so I was like, I like the name, so let's go with The Real Docs of TikTok. And there's so much we can do with it. And in the bio, it says Trauma Tribe. It's like, some typical we heal wounds with comedy or with humor or something like that. Yeah. And drink water, change your socks, because it's a notorious thing that medics usually say to their dudes. Like, yeah, you're not hurt. Just drink some water, change your socks, you'll be fine. And so hopefully Trauma Tribe
put some ice on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
The school nurse.
Yep. And so hopefully with that, Trauma Tribe 2.0 will be, the next big, medical brand out there. So be on the lookout, guys.
I'm sure it will. I mean, like you said, you've built already like what, 3-4 social medias?
Yeah, like 3 big social medias.
So
out of
I'm
the
pretty
5
sure with a structured plan like this, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ben. So speaking of that, you feel like you're fairly good at building social media, that you're pretty good at, or you have a great understanding of how to build channels and how to interact with people. What would be your advice for somebody that wanted to start a YouTube channel, a TikTok, whatever it is today? What would be your advice? Somebody comes up, Ben, I want to start up on social media. I want to become famous like you, bro. What do I need to do?
So I'd say there's one of two things that you can do. Either way, they're going to be good. They're going to get you to where you need to be. But first, I would say if you're one of the people that just really don't care about like, the fancy gadgets and things like that, start today. Like get your camera. Like literally you can get your phone out. These iPhones have amazing cameras, and just turn it sideways for landscape. That way when you edit it, it's not like all vertically like you see on TikTok and things like that. But if you do it sideways, it'll be formatted for YouTube, and you can just film with your phone. You can upload to YouTube from your phone and just, put a title, put some tags in there. You'll be good to go. And, you're getting your foot in the door and you're starting. To me, there's no time like the present. And if you just do it, eventually the content's going to pick up. People that are going to fuck with you are going to fuck with you, They're like, yo, this guy puts out some good content. He speaks his mind. But with that, don't just post a video, expect it to blow up. There's a lot of consistency that comes in with having a channel. YouTube's going to favor channels that are putting out content consistently. Like have a schedule, stick to the schedule. Don't post 1 week, wait 3, then post another, and then, next week, cool, another one. Like do either, like my schedule, right? It's Monday, we put a short 60-second video on the channel just with a little quick tip for military stuff. Wednesdays, live stream day. Cool, we live stream. Friday is a full-length video, talking about an informative topic about the military. And then any other of those days is cool. If I want to throw out an extra video promoting something, cool, I'll do it. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can typically find a new video from me on my channel. And that's the first thing, right? If you don't care about the fancy stuff, just go out and do it. Stay consistent with it. You'll be okay. Second thing is, like me, what I did for my first channel is I wanted to get everything ready. I wanted my intro, I wanted my outro, I wanted my banner, my picture, all that stuff to be good. So I reached out to people that were either on Fiverr. If you don't know what Fiverr is, it's an app. You can reach out to artists to make profile pictures, intros, outros, really whatever. Good. Or if you want to save money, you can go to YouTube, look up free YouTube intros and outros, and you'll get the download link. You can edit your name in there, and it adds a little extra bit of flavor to the YouTube channel, sure. And people pick up on it. They're like, hey, this guy's really, really doing good. It's attractive. Yeah. It really shows that you're invested into what you're doing, right? But I know a lot of people that just post and they do good, no thumbnails, no nothing. And they do great. But there's also the people that put the planning and the forward or the forward thinking into it, and they're like, okay, cool, this is how I'm going to do it. They have their topics planned out. They have a script ready. And that's sometimes what I do, but I'm a mix of both. I like putting out the content, but I like having some sort of structured plan. But overall, the biggest thing is consistency and focus on the content. You want to make sure the content that you're putting out is going to give value back to the people that are watching. Nobody's going to care if you're just like, cool, yeah, watch me eat 30 cheese puffs in 30 minutes or something. You want to be like, hey, this is how you can get better at eating cheese puffs in 30 minutes. Like something that's going to teach them something. For sure. And that's my biggest piece of advice is consistency. Consistency. Yeah. It's going to help you out in the long run.
Yeah. I think what I grabbed out of what you just said the most was that you're a mixture of both. And I feel like that's very crucial because like I explained to you before, I've gone on and to release something like I want to do this, and then what ends up happening is I tend to want to over plan, and then I become into a procrastinator, and it never happens. And then there's the other side of me where I go into it without like much planning, and then the production side of it kind of suffers a little bit, and then that unmotivates me because I'm not getting much viewage or anything like that. So that kind of demotivates me, so that caused me to quit. So I think a good mixture of both. I was explaining to Ben before the podcast that I have a quote, which I actually have on the wall by Teddy Roosevelt. It says, accomplish what you can where you are right now with exactly